Hey guys, I want to welcome you back to the channel. I don't think anybody would disagree that the anniversary box is a really good product. We have a lot of very good reprints that bring down a lot of prices. I mean, we can get our hands on like Topo for like what, how much right now? More than just the monetary value that we can get from buying a box, we do have a lot of gameplay values we can get out of it too. I mean, we have a lot of support that was printed for Crit Nimba, we have Apes, we have also Chili, and the biggest of all, Agent of Destruction. Also, there are older decks that got support, which I think might be unintentional. So today's deck profile is going to be one of those decks that got way more consistent after the launch of Anniversary Box. I hope you guys are excited. See you guys after the short intro. Hey guys, I want to welcome you back from the intro. I hope you are excited. We are going to be talking about BBD and Majin Buu 1 with Nothingness. This is a very interesting deck. If you do not know this deck already, this is a very aggro deck. However, you are going to be playing with 0 cards in your hands. How does this work? How is it strange? I'm going to talk about this in this deck profile. Of course, with a little spice of my own, which is with the Anniversary Box support, I said that this consistency of this deck just increased dramatically. I'm going to tell you later in this video what is the issue that I have with this deck and how, with the new support, why I choose to play this deck again, because I think it's just going way better. Alright, let's talk about the leader. BBD, when this card attacks, you get to draw a card, and this gets it gets 5k, so he is going to be swinging at 15 on his unawakened side. However, you are not going to be unawakened for a long time, because when you have no cards in your hands, you may draw 3 cards, choose 2 in your life, add them to your hands. Now you have 5 cards, because 0 plus 3 plus 2 equals 5. You may flip this card over. Very strange. You don't need any energy to do that. You don't need as many lives that you can with this deck. Just make sure you are awakened just like that. No cards, you can awaken. Now let's talk about when he gets awakened. Majin Buu 1 with Nothingness. If you have no cards in your hands, at the end of the turn, you get to draw 5 cards. There are many ways for you to get rid of cards. Activate main, not once per turn. You can do it as many times as you want. Choose 1 card in your hand, place it in drop area, then you choose 1. You either choose one of your opponent's battle card with energy 3 or less, and then you place it under this card, so you absorb it, or you get 5k for the duration of the turn. So it's when your opponent is negating all your attacks, and then you still have a lot. Your cards, instead of being used for combos because your opponent negates everything, and then you want to draw the 5 cards, you could just do that 5 gets all the 5k power and dump all your cards away. That is something that you can do. Or if you're playing against Agent of Destruction, which a lot of people are playing right now, what you can do is you dump and absorb most of their stuff under. Because except for Thoros, they don't have anything, so good for them. You are gonna absorb everything on their board with this leader. So it's kind of like anti Agent of Destruction at the same time. So do I get you excited? At the end of the turn, you get to draw 5 cards. However, with Series 10, we get a card over here with Majin Buu Wickedness Incarnate. Activate main. If your leader card is black, you just, if this card is in the drop area, send it to Warp. You discard 1, you get to draw 2. So with this deck, it's gonna happen. You can do that. So what you want to do at the end of your turn is, first, you resolve your leader's ability, draw 5. Then after that, you already activate main, right? You already activate main during your turn. You tap 1, send this card to Warp. At the end of the turn, you resolve your leader's ability first, draw 5, then resolve his ability, then you drop 1, and then draw 2. Now you have 6 cards in your hands. Not a lot, but it's more than what you want. Alright, so that's great, and basically that's that. Let's talk about the rest of the deck. Majin Buu, Ghastly, Rampage. Activate main if all your energy is black. So we are going to be talking about the Majin Buu chain, right? And you can only start, some notes here, you can only start this chain with 0 cards in your hands. So you cannot combo with them, you cannot do it. So something that you have to take note. So activate main. If all your energy is black and you have no cards in your hands, you may place this card in your owner's drop area, then you choose one. This is the only card that you don't play something on top. You put it into your drop area, which is good. You want cards in your drop area for your super combo and for you to restart the chain. So you just kind of need one of him in your drop area, that's all. He's really good. And you get to choose one black Majin Buu with energy cost 3 or 4 in your drop area, and then you play it. Or if you have 3 or more energy, you can skip the 4 and you can go up to 5 and 6 if you want, if you have 3 or more energy. If you don't have, you have to kind of stop at 4. Yeah, so this is the 4 Majin Buu Steadfast Absorption. From now on, you can only play 1 copy of each card. So 2 and 6, you can play as many as you want for the turn. But when it comes to 4 and 5, the chain 4 and 5, you can only play one of them at any one point of time. During the turn. Not one point of time, during the turn. So activate main. If you have no cards in your hands, you get to choose one Majin Buu from drop area between 3 and 6 and play it on top in rest mode. This is a really good card. 15k dual attack. Your opponent would hate this card. And after that, they are gonna hate it even more because now the big heaters are here. Majin Buu Hybrid Absorption, Unparalleled Absorption. If you have 2 or less energy, you cannot play them, but you can play them if you have 3 energy. Okay, one has critical, one has double strike. So if you have no cards in your hands, you get to choose one Majin Buu 3 and 6 and play on top of this card in active mode. So after you swing with him, you can activate main and then you play something that is 6 on top. So we are moving up the chain 2 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. Crit and double strike. I don't know which one that you want to play first. For example, it depends on the situation, right? If your opponent is down to 2 lives, double strike, then crit him. If your opponent is at 5 life, double strike and crit him. Most of the other time, crit, then double strike him. If he's at 3 lives, crit and double strike him. So I cannot tell you when, it really depends. You do the math, which is the best situation that you can get with this guys. These are your super heavy heater. Your opponent will hate them, and I love their artwork. It's just really good looking. Now we are looking at the end of the chain, which is 6, which is funny because they are not like 30k. They are not moving up the damage scale. They are down back to 20. Majin Buu 6. This card cannot be removed from your battle area by your opponent's skill. So he does not have barrier, he just cannot be removed. So if your opponent have anything that can block clear, however, ignoring barrier cannot be removed by cannot remove him. He can be KO'd though, so that's pretty good. I mean KO'd by battle. Permanent, when this card is in rest mode, your opponent cannot use non-leader's card to add cards from their deck to your hand. So when he swings your opponent's super combo, your opponent cannot draw. When your opponent plays something that searches their deck, they cannot do it. So they really need to get rid of this guy because this guy is very nasty. That's pretty good, I like it. And he has an activate battle, tap 3, this card gets 10k and triple strike for the duration of the turn. I don't really use it that much because usually when I get up the chain and want to finish it, I don't have any cards in my hand. So 30k triple strike against your opponent with a very big hand, you are not going to get over it. However, with him, when you are tapping him, your opponent needs to get rid of him, and then the next time you can restart the chain and then just hit multiple times per turn. That is also a pretty good value. Another 6 cost that we can do is Majin Buu Diabolical Punisher. This is more of a, this too, it's more of the something that you stop the, how do you say, you control the game instead of playing to finish it. Because permanent, of course, he has the same permanent as this guy that cannot be removed. Also, you place this card in your owner's drop area. When your opponent plays a battle card that is greater than their energy cost, you can discard this guy, like put it in the drop area, and then you send a card to warp. Pretty good. If he's in a drop, don't swing with this guy, just leave him down there, and then your opponent cannot play something that's bigger. And if it has no barrier, we don't care about deflag. This guy get past deflag, just ignores barrier and then send it to warp. You don't even have to choose that card though. You can choose one of your opponent's other card and do it, and it's not even counterplay. So that's pretty good. Alright, now let's talk about let's talk about the problem with the deck now. Yeah? The problem with the deck is this. Everything is down to luck. Why? Of course there are skills involved, right? How do you play that 2-drop, that 4-drop, that 5-drop? But a lot of things is down to luck because at the end of the turn, It depends on what you draw. You can put negates, but if you're not going to draw into negates, you're not going to have a good time, right? You can play more negates, however, then your leader cannot be awakened that easily, because if you draw a negate on your turn 1, you're dead. You cannot awaken, right? So whenever your 20k is gonna get taken care of, because they want to remove your 20k, especially that very evil Majin Buu that your opponent cannot draw. However, you can always restart them from your drop area. Everything that you play can be played from the drop area, except the start of the chain, which is the 2 cost. So in order to start the chain, you need that 2 cost to be played. And in the past, there are like, I think, 2 ways to cheat out the 2 costs instead of hard casting it. The first one is this Babidi Unrepentant Sorcerer. If you have 2 energy, you discard 1 from your hands. If you play this card, you get to choose 1 Majin Buu with energy cost of 2, Pui Pui or Debura, and then you put it into your board. The thing is, you only want to play either Pui Pui, I'm going to talk about him later, the best card in this deck, and then or you're going to play the Majin Buu. The 2 cost Majin Buu, if it's in your drop area, you don't have it in your hands. If you draw into Babidi, play 1, discard 1, play Majin Buu. Another way that you can play it is by Malicious Mimicry. We're going to play one of them because that's kind of what you need. Activate Battle, not something that we want to do. Let's talk about the Activate Main. 2 costs. If all your energy is black, you get to choose 1. You get to choose 1 card from your hands, and then you place it in your drop area. You get to choose 1 black Majin Buu with energy cost of 2 or less in the drop area, and then you play it. So we want to play the 2 cost Majin Buu. And if this card's in your drop area, you don't really need to care about what you draw into. If you draw into Babidi, use Babidi to start the chain. If you don't have Babidi and your Majin Buu chain is down in the drop area in the gutter, you can use Malicious Mimicry. If it is there, tap 2, drop 1, and then you play Majin Buu on your board, just like that. So those are the ways. So unless you also draw into another 2 drop, then you can restart the chain, right? However, there is another way to start this. Now with new support. Let me present to you this guy. Hatchyyack, Vengeful Agent of Destruction. Activate main. Discard this card from your hands. So you tap 1, discard this card from your hands, and then you get to choose 1 Evil Wizard Babidi, which this Babidi is a Evil Wizard Babidi. And it is 1 cost, and from your deck, and then you play it. So if you don't draw into him, you don't have him in the drop area, now you have another chance to restart your chain if you draw into Hatchyyack. So now, instead of playing like 5 cards that could start the chain, we are playing 9 cards, and that really just increases your odd over like almost like 100%, right? So you can shuffle your deck if you look through it. So you can play him. So you can discard him, tap 1, discard him, go to Babidi, go to your deck, searches for Babidi, play Babidi, then discard 1 and restart the chain just like that. Alright. Okay. See? So this is Evil Wizard Babidi. Alright. So let's talk about the other. So this is the spice, not a spice, but the support that we get from Anniversary Box that just makes this deck way more consistent. So you don't get stuck anymore. You find yourself getting stuck less and less anymore. So you could just do all these things, and then if you draw Babidi, good. If you draw into Buu, good. Or you can draw into Hatchyyack. Now you can more chances to play restart your chain with just 1 energy. Alright, now let's talk about the most important card in this deck. Pui Pui, this Devious Destructor. I don't know why I can't pronounce that word. Okay, Barrier. If your leader card is black, if you have 2 or less cards in your hands, your opponent cannot activate Counterplay skills. Cannot. It's not that they have a choice, they need to discard 2, they need to warp 3 from their drop area, warp 5, warp 6. They cannot. And against a deck that doesn't care about your hand size, your opponent is going to have a very, very hard time. So what you want to do here, it's either hard cast Pui Pui, or you have Pui Pui in your drop area, you do Babidi or Hatchyyack into Pui Pui. And when Pui Pui comes out, you drop. Make sure that you have only 2 cards in your hands when you play him. That he has barrier, so he is very difficult to get rid of. Your opponent has to do so much more just to get rid of something that's 2 costs with barrier, that you can play it from your drop area. That's the best part. If they get rid of him, you just Babidi back into him. if you're playing against a counter heavy deck, which is like Agent of Destruction, which is counter heavy with all this unison card, with all this free counterplay, just activates your leader's ability, discard, 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 2 cards in your hands, restart the chain. Your opponent cannot do anything about it. Their opponent will be caught off guard, especially those people that relies a lot on their unison card to protect themselves, right? They unison card, they think that they're safe hiding from that one free counterplay. It's not gonna happen. They cannot play the counterplay. So Bubbly into Pui Pui Devious Destructor, and then disable their counterplay. Then you go up the chain and your opponent has to deal with what you bring on the board, just like that. Really best card right now in the deck, this guy. Alright, let's talk about some of the counterplays. Majin Buu Diabolical Punisher, we already talked about that. He is not a counterplay, but he acts like a counterplay. He gets past deflect, and Debura also gets past deflect. This is 2 costs. The bad part about Debura is that you really have to draw him at the end of the turn. If you don't draw him at the end of the turn, he is not effective. So sometimes you thought about, oh, should I use my energy? I don't know, because I don't know what I'm gonna draw at the end of the turn. So it really depends on that. I would say leave 1 energy open just in case you draw into a negate. Counterplay, play this card. If all your energy is black, you reduce the cost. So he is a 2 cost counterplay. Choose during your opponent's turn. When you play this card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle card. It cannot attack, activate skill for the duration of turn. It doesn't get, because he is not in the counterplay timing, so he does not deflect. He's not affected by deflect, but he cannot deal with anything that has come into play skill, right? So they will resolve their skill because they are 1 step faster than you. However, if they have anything that has active main and like permanent or things like that, when you play this card, you get to negate. No. You don't. I'm not sure about permanent, because permanent is not activated, but if they have things like activate main or activate battle, they cannot do that. We're gonna play 3 cards. I've never once played this card while playing Majin Buu, and I played this deck so often, never once, because I don't know. Should I leave 2 energy open at the end of the turn? I really have no idea. Alright, so this is my deck. I hope you like it. Some notes: Hatchyyack is pretty expensive, but he is pretty good in this deck because he plays it from the drop area. So you tap 3, you put some cards back into your deck so you don't deck out, and then Hatchyyack comes out and he is a 25k single swing. Pretty good. And another notable is we are gonna play with Power Burst, just 3 copies of them, because basically that's it. You can take back your Bubbly or your Hatchyyack, whichever you want, and then you can restart the chain with Power Burst. So that's good. I would say that if you have it, just use it, because you're not gonna have it for the next turn. This deck is something that whatever you have in your hands, you're gonna use it. You want to use it because you're not gonna have it at the next turn, right? Alright, and BBD, the super combo, it's super crazy in this deck because of the size of the drop area. So once you have this one, like one time my opponent swings for the game, and then I just put on my BBD and he said, don't need to count. He looks at my drop area and he goes like, I don't need you to count. I'm pretty sure you can get past it. I was like, yeah, I think so. Just 1 BBD and I think my combo power just increased by like 20 something K or 30k. So it's pretty broken in this deck. Alright, and if you ask me to say, hey, maybe 1 card, if you have it, why not you play this? As this for, if you get into 5 energy, why not just play him? And he draws 2 cards, untap 2, and send two of your opponent's battle card into wall. So that's pretty good. I'm unable to find the text one, so is that. Alright, I hope you like it. There are really a lot of decks right now that I'm experimenting with. I think the next one I am gonna play would be most probably, finally, I think Pilaf. It's working, so it should be Pilaf next if I'm not wrong. I'm still playing with it at this moment while I'm filming, doing this recording. So guys, it is summer right now in most parts of the world. Please be safe. Coronavirus is still out there. Drink more water. Leave a comment if you like this, and let me know what you think of the deck. I love to hear your feedback. Sometimes I don't reply that much, is because I've been pretty busy. The heat is getting me. I'm not sleeping well. I think you can see this dark eye back, but that's that. And guys, hope you have a great time. Stay safe, stay healthy, drink your water, stay hydrated. See you guys in the next video. All right, ciao, bye.